As far as Souls games go, Black Myth Wukong is our newest addition to that list. We have interviews, NPC lore, China, Britain, and how it all ties together. Black Myth Wukong is no foreign title. Well, yes it is, but it's breaking records, with an all-time peak of 2.4 million on Steam and a plus 95% rating. It's certainly a must-play. Of course I played it, and so far I'm blown away. It's one of those games where you sit at work and you think about it. You can't wait to get home to play it, even though it will only be for an hour or so, because you have work the next day. Unlike Asmongold, who can play the game for 11 hours straight. Man, I wish I had that job. The game is amazing. It has some unique and difficult bosses that will keep you entertained for hours. But today, we want to talk about one particular boss, the Yellow-Winged Sage. I remember I had a very difficult time with this boss, and I've seen a lot of rage videos about this boss. He carries a head, and that's a symbol or artifact that game science cleverly references. When you defeat this boss, an NPC by the name of Bodhisattva Lingji comes to retrieve the head. In Journey to the West, this character has a similar role in helping Wukong defeat the Yellow-Winged Sage. So how does this relate to Britain and China? There is actually a real-life statue of Bodhisattva Lingji in China, and the head was stolen in 550 AD. Where is it now? It's currently in the British Museum. A lot of people have pointed out that they should return it. I think Britain should just offer, and China will obviously accept. You know, this reminds me of something my dad used to say. Whenever you go to other people's homes, don't take things that don't belong to you. Most of these collections were certainly looted or stolen by Britain when it created and later took advantage of China's crisis, or even directly robbed China. People will have different opinions on this. Here's what I think. I think the British government should cooperate with China to at least facilitate the process. You know, make amends.
Now, the state-run Chinese newspaper, the Global Times, has called in an editorial for the return of Chinese cultural relics acquired through improper channels to be repatriated to China free of charge. The British Museum says it has around 23,000 Chinese objects, including a famous reproduction of a scroll called the Admonitions of the Instructress to the Court Ladies from the Tang Dynasty.
It's difficult to say how exactly China lost artifacts to the British Museum. Well, you tell me. I do think they should return it. I mean, it's not theirs. Give it back free of charge. A kind gesture, if you will. That way, the head can be reunited with the body.
I think it would be nice for the British to return the artifact to China, but that would lead serious questions of the other artifacts that British Museum is holding.
I mean, he has a point. If they return the artifacts to China, because the museum has so many artifacts from different countries, they would need to return those too. And I think, yes, they should.
I don't think they should return everything back, but they might have a deal with the China government.
I think this girl is clearly British born. She was probably born and raised in Britain. Or she's a student from another Asian country, and if she says something that people don't agree with, it might affect her visa in some way. And people will say, oh no, that's not true. Well, that's probably the way it is.
All museums now are going through this period of, should it go back? You know, private art collectors are going through it as well. And I don't think that there's one right answer to this.
I mean, private collectors know that the art or collections have a unique connection with its place of origin. Where they were produced, and it's an essential part of cultural history of that area. Now, if I go to London and I see a Buddha statue, there is no historical context to that. That's why people preserve historical buildings and the things inside, because that's one of the reasons.
Issue. It's very complex.
I think it should stay here, really. I mean, it's been looked after for such a long period of time.
This guy is stupid. I'll show you why. Have a look at this.
2,000 artifacts have allegedly been stolen, gone missing, or been damaged. The scandal has cost the director his job and this world-renowned centre of cultural heritage a huge hit to its reputation.
I mean, didn't they just say the director lost his job and that 2,000 artifacts were stolen from the museum? I mean, this guy is a prime example of people who made a decision and they won't change their mind or they won't change their opinion even if they are confronted or, so to say, presented with proof that the thing that they are saying is not true. I mean, people are just so dumb.
Time.
Give some back, keep some. I think this is maybe some compromise.
CGTN has reached out to the museum for comment, but so far we've not had a reply.
Yeah, Game Science threw some shots, but I think they did a fantastic job. I know that the museum does not record how they acquire individual pieces. On their website, they have bequests and donations, and these are acquired in various ways. It could be sales, theft, looting. They have excavation, and how were those even authorized? And the last one is collecting, a catch-all term for everything not included above. In Black Myth Wukong, wishes are brought to life when Bodhisattva Lingji transforms and is fully restored. It certainly captivated me, and I'm sure it did so with many. If you want a detailed backstory and own a copy of Wukong, the helpful journal in-game will be more than enough to satisfy your lore needs.
Amitabha. I am Bodhisattva Lingji of New Mount Sumeru, the warden of this rat. After the great sage's passing, his sixth senses were scattered across the mortal realm. This thieving rat chanced upon one of them, yet hindered by his meager might, he could not absorb its power. Thus he schemed with wicked intent. A victim of his deceit, I had my head taken by him. The sense requires such a grand container to release its power. I should bear the blame for his reign of havoc upon this ridge again.
Thank you for watching. If you want more Wukong lore, check this video and subscribe. 再见。